Hi all, and there we go. Hi all, welcome back to the Virtual Pub Quiz channel. My name is Jay. Thanks for joining us for what is a special edition of the Virtual Pub Quiz. We normally do all the specialist quizzes and they arrive on the channel at 10:30 during the week, but we couldn't ignore what today is, could we? It's May the 4th, which means it is Star Wars Day. So may the 4th be with you all. So it's a bumper edition as well. Specialist quizzes, we normally only do 10 questions, but for Star Wars Day, so many films to go through, we've gone with 30 questions. Now we're only concentrating on the 3 sets of trilogies, or the Skywalker saga or Skywalker story as it's been known. We're not sort of bringing into play the Mandalorian and the Solo film, etc., and all the other bits that go with it, just because I think, you know, they're a little bit niche. Not everyone's maybe seen Mandalorian. Majority of people will have seen the films at some point. So I'm concentrating on the 9 main films, just so you know where the questions are going to come from in this. So 30 questions, like I say. I'm going to start with the original 70s trilogy. I know it's not right in the timeline. We're going to start with the original 70s trilogy, move into the middle 3, and then finish off with the final 3. So 30 questions. Let's see how you get on. Grab your pen and paper. Let's move that into there so I can see it. And let's get going then with question number 1. So the first Star Wars film released its retrospective. The first Star Wars film released in the 70s is retrospectively now known by which number? So the first Star Wars film released in the 70s is now retrospectively known by which number? Don't forget, you can pause if you've not got enough time in between. You can pause these because it's not the live quiz. Question 2. That first Star Wars film, I've said it was the 70s, but which year was it released? So in which year was the first Star Wars film released? So number 3. What was the name of Luke Skywalker's step-aunt and uncle? So what was the name of Luke Skywalker's step-aunt and uncle? Number 4. What is the name of Leia's home planet? Can't pronounce things tonight. What is the name of Leia's home planet? Question 5. Yoda makes his first appearance in which film? So Yoda makes his first appearance in which film? Remember, these first 10 are from the original trilogy, so it should give you a hint. Number 6. Han Solo had a bounty on his head. From who? So who put the bounty on Han Solo's head? Number 7. Who was the voice of Darth Vader in the original trilogy? So who was the voice of Darth Vader in the original trilogy? Remember, if you need a bit more time, you can pause the video at any point. Number 8. Who said the famous line, "It's a trap"? Which character? So which character said the famous line, "It's a trap"? Number 9. At the end of the Return of the Jedi, what are the 3 ghosts that Luke sees? So at the end of the Return of the Jedi, what are the 3 ghosts that Luke sees? And finally then, question 10. Who played Obi-Wan in the original trilogy? So who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original trilogy? Okay, so let's move on to your next 10. These are from the middle 3 of the trilogy, but in the timeline they're the first 3, but they're the middle 3 when they were released. You know what I mean. Let's start with question number 1. The prequel trilogy began with The Phantom Menace, but it was released in which year? So the prequel trilogy began with The Phantom Menace, but it was released in which year? Question 2. Who was Qui-Gon Jinn's Padawan? So who was Qui-Gon Jinn's Padawan? Number 3. Who played Queen Amidala? So who played Queen Amidala? Question 4. So who crashed out in the pod race that meant Anakin won? So who crashed out in the pod race that meant Anakin won? Question 5. What is the name of Jango Fett's clone son? What was the name of Jango Fett's cloned son? Question 6. What colour was Mace Windu's lightsaber? What colour was Mace Windu's lightsaber? Question 7. Who severs Anakin's right arm in Attack of the Clones? So who severs Anakin's right arm in Attack of the Clones? Number 8. The order for the clone troopers to kill their commanding Jedi officers in Attack of the Clones is order number what? So the order for the clone troopers to kill their commanding Jedi officers was order number what? Number 9. Where does Padme's funeral take place? On which planet? On which planet does Padme's funeral take place? And then finally, number 10. Who takes in baby Leia? So who takes in baby Leia? So that then is your... Oh, I need to move that up. That is your 10 questions on the prequel trilogy that was the middle trilogy. Depends where it sits on the timeline. So we've got 10 to go. Just need to move them up a bit. There we go. 10 to go. This is the... excuse me. Recording us all in one go. So like the live quiz. So you get all the mistakes and everything that come through with it. So this is the final 10 questions. This is all on the recent trilogy. Let's get going. Number 1. What is the name of Poe Dameron's droid? So what was the name of Poe's droid? Number 2. What was Finn's stormtrooper number? So what was Finn's stormtrooper number? Number 3. Who is Supreme Leader of the First Order in The Force Awakens? So who is Supreme Leader of the First Order in The Force Awakens? question 4. Where does Luke Skywalker finally die? So where does Luke Skywalker finally die? Number 5. Who plays Kylo Ren? So who plays Kylo Ren? Number 6. Dominic Gleeson played which character? So Dominic Gleeson played which character? Number 7. Who guides Rey, Finn, Poe and Chewie towards a clue for the whereabouts of the Sith Wayfinder on Pasaana? So who guides Rey, Finn, Poe and Chewie towards a clue for the whereabouts of the Sith Wayfinder on Pasaana? Number 8. Who was Kylo Ren's father? So who was Kylo Ren's father? Number 9. On which planet does Rey bury the lightsabers? So on which planet does Rey bury the lightsabers? And finally, number 10. Who is Rey's grandfather? So who is Rey's grandfather? Okay, so that is your 30 questions for this extra edition of the Virtual Pub Quiz with the Star Wars special. Now, what we normally do on the specialist quizzes is we tell you right about now to pause the video. So while you're looking through your answers, if you want to pause the video now. And welcome back. So hopefully you've had enough time to go through or skip back and find some of the questions that you might have missed. But yeah, so we've got 30 answers to give you. So let's go through them then, starting with the first round, number 1. So the first Star Wars film, released in the 70s, retrospectively is now known by which number? It's episode number 4. And of course that film, it was released in which year for number 2? It was released in 1977. Number 3, what was the name of Luke Skywalker's step-aunt and uncle? Point for each, I think we'll go with this. It was Owen and Beru Lars. Number 4, what was the name of Leia's home planet? It's Alderaan. Number 5, Yoda made his first appearance in which film? It was The Empire Strikes Back. Number 6, Han Solo had a bounty on his head from who? It was Jabba the Hutt. Number 7, who was the voice of Darth Vader in the original trilogy? So in the original trilogy, it was James L. Jones. He was the voice of Darth Vader. Number 8, who said the famous line, "It's a trap"? It was Admiral Akbar. Number 9, at the end of Return of the Jedi, what are the 3 ghosts that Luke sees? We'll give you a point for each of these as well, go on. So Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker. And number 10, who played Obi-Wan in the original trilogy? It was Alec Guinness. So we've got 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's out of 13 for your first three. Your next three. Sorry, next 10 even. The middle three films. The prequel trilogy began with Phantom Menace, which was released in which year? It was 1999. Number 2, who was Qui-Gon Jinn's Padawan? It was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Number 3, who played Queen Amidala? It was Natalie Portman. Number 4, who crashed out in the pod race that meant Anakin won? It was Sebulba. Number 5, what is the name of Jango Fett's son? It's Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Number 6, what colour was Mace Windu's lightsaber? It was purple. Number 7, who severs Anakin's right arm in Attack of the Clones? It was Count Dooku. Number 8, the order for the clone troopers to kill their commanding Jedi officers is which order number? So it was execute order number 66. Number 9, where does Padme's funeral take place? It takes place on Naboo. Finally, number 10, who takes in baby Leia? It was Bail Organa. And then your final 10 from the 3 most recent films in the series. Number 1, what was the name of Poe Dameron's droid? It was, of course, BB-8. Number 2, what was Finn's stormtrooper number? It was FN 2187. In a nod back to the cell that Leia was kept captured in the original trilogy. Number 3, who is Supreme Leader of the First Order in The Force Awakens? It was Snoke. Number 4, where does Luke Skywalker finally die? He finally dies on Ahch-To. Number 5, who plays Kylo Ren? It was Adam Driver. Number 6, Dominic Gleeson plays which character? It's General Hux. So number 7, who guides Rey, Finn, Poe and Chewie towards a clue for the whereabouts of the Sith Wayfinder on Pasaana? It was Lando Calrissian. Number 8, who was Kylo Ren's father? It was Han Solo. Number 9, on which planet does Rey bury the lightsabers? It was on Tatooine. And finally, number 10, who is Rey's grandfather? Emperor Palpatine. Okay, there you go. So that is your extra edition of the virtual pub quiz with this special one just for Star Wars. 30 questions. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks very much for playing along. As I said at the beginning, we couldn't just ignore the fact that it was May the 4th, but I didn't want to allow the kids quiz to be moved for any reason, as it's got its little place on a Monday home. So this is an extra edition just for Star Wars for this evening. Let us know how you've got on. All the social links and everything are down below. We love hearing how you've got on. I think it's, what did I say, out of 34? So yeah, let us know how you got on in the comments or over on the social media channels. Thanks as always for playing. Thanks as always for your support. And minimize that. There we go. Thanks as always for your support and everything. You know, the messages are still wonderful and we absolutely adore them. So thank you very much. This is out on Monday night, so depending on what time you'll be watching, don't forget we are live every Thursday and Saturday night with the big virtual pub live quiz. Last week we had 182,000 people playing, so hopefully this Thursday we'll have some good news about the Guinness World Record, but obviously I'll keep you posted over the social media channels. As always, stay safe and I'll see you all soon.